were made in 21.
When Leeds came up, we started covering Leeds. West Brom also came up that
No,
season.
no. I've only seen
Tom?
one. I've only
Tom?
seen one Midlands derby.
Tom?
He's wrong. He would have experienced both Midlands derbies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I probably pronounced it Derby back then.
That may be true.
No, I think
Anyway,
we talked
we
about
get
it,
West
and
Brom,
you said that
and
you
I'm very
didn't.
excited.
You said that you
Very
didn't
excited
have
to see a derby.
much against them or something like that.
You find out what John Garside. What's that? 4-0 on Bamford.
We started. Did we start in December of 20?
Yeah.
We did.
Yep.
Whenever Arteta was hired, we started like a week later.
Oh, so December of 2019 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are not impressed with any transfers that have happened because not much has happened. So let me ask you guys, out of all the crazy speculations and things like that for your club, other clubs, all this, that, and the other, what is one of the craziest or wildest ones that you've heard?
Can I start and then I'll just shut up?
Yeah. What? Oh, you don't have to
Benzema to Arsenal was like, what? That was absolutely crazy. When I heard,
but why not, Mark? Why not? Why wouldn't it happen?
Why would you want it to happen?
Why wouldn't you?
If you were supporting an MLS club, then yeah, I could believe it because that's a retirement home for football players of that age, right? But
Benzema would strike most strikers off the pitch in the Premier League.
But
listen,
that might
he was Ballon d'Or status this season.
Yeah.
He only left a season ago.
Yep, that's all true. That's all true. But then if you win teams, I'll tell you what happened. Edu, we'll call him Edu. Goes on to, he looks up Benzema on Wikipedia and he looks through and he goes, he did what with the French national team?
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I forgot about all that. I was just thinking about football for a moment.
Because then all the French players at Arsenal, I don't know if we still have any, would be like, I'm playing with him.
Well, would Saliba know?
Again, I'm pretty sure Saliba has internet access and could Wikipedia his name and go, he did what with the French national? I'm going to keep doing this for any French player you name. I'll be like, they have Wikipedia and they can go, he did what with the French national team? Anyway, sorry. I made my point. I'm sorry. Can I answer the question that from the Leeds fans? They just wanted to know a bet. Basically, 4-0 and Patrick Bamford is 19.25 to 1. If you add Daniel James, so Bamford and Daniel James to score, 4-0 is 37.92 to 1. I hope
all right.
Because fuck Preston. They go fuck themselves.
Did they beat you the last time?
They did. They really did.
I don't know.
I don't think they've won since.
I don't get to watch Leeds much anymore. It is one of my preferred watches, as long as it is not competing with.
That's all right. Not neither do Leeds fans in England.
I want to watch Leeds, and I can't.
My point is, like you said, you didn't get to watch them. Like, well, neither do I, unless we're on Sky.
Fair. I actually had a conversation with somebody that was. It's like, it's so easy to watch. And I'm actually, no, it's not.
Yeah. Well, this is a cool new function that we have with StreamYard now, but Gary is actually streaming on his channel as well. Here's a link to it. So open up a new tab, click on that link, and we'll get double viewership somehow. I'm watching it on every tab that I have open, minus Mark's OnlyFans. I keep that one open. It's a camera from the back of the room. You get to see the plumber's crack the whole time.
It's from the back.
You do have to pay $12.99 a month.
I do
I think that's a little high, Mark.
Crown. Needs the crown.
Yeah.
Wow. Oof.
But anyway, so Gary, any transfers that you thought were crazy but could be cool?
Transfers that I thought was crazy, huh? Oof,
Rumors.
rumors.
Mbappe,
I thought there was the yeah. I was gonna
Benzema.
say that. I thought there was an Mbappe one, which like sounds ridiculous. Like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, not
Yeah,
at all.
and-
Just you know what? As they said, it's not been that much. There's barely been any rumors that have been worth it. They even like go, okay, that's stupid or that's never gonna happen. So I think this is what the league wants. They wanted this, so they got it. Now nobody's buying anybody, and I think that the well is dry. The well is dry. So I think we'll see what happens. Teams that need money aren't going to get it because nobody's buying, right? So basically, they're going to get it's a double-edged sword now. So the teams that need the money from the sales won't get it, so they get punished. Everybody's losing points. That's what it seems like what's going to happen. Everybody's going to lose points soon. What's the league going to do then? They're going to realize this is stupid, and then a lot of people.
I say we start our own rumors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's just create some crazy ass rumors.
I caught Gary with an ox.
Okay.
And what's the problem with that? Have you ever been with an ox? Oh, so you have. You didn't even hesitate to say no. That means you've done it. Oh, and I think that sounds like twice.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like no, you go for 3? Oh, I think his eyes sparkled with 3. But anyways, nah. What about Messi? Messi coming back and going to whoever. Pick it. Liverpool.
It'd be a fabulous rumor, but he is so like monetarily tied up to the MSL that he would just be he would leave so much money on the table.
All those players from the Saudi league are leaving money on the table. Right?
We could do like Almiron going to on loan to Burnley. Why not? I don't know. Come on, it's create your own rumor.
Okay,
hour.
well, let me ask you guys this: with Mbappe possibly parting ways, and everybody is saying he's going to Real Madrid. He's going to Real Madrid. Blah blah blah. Thinking about it, if he did come to the Premier League, where do you think he would fit in the best? Which club do you think he would fit in the best with? Like, let's not talk about possibilities or anything like that. Like,
I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't fit in with Liverpool. Like I mean, we as much as we talk about Nunez and how, how poor he is in front of goal. If you had an Mbappe, like it's a joke, Mr. Tom.
No, because I had a better one in my mind.
Oh, okay.
I actually thought you could Mbappe or Messi, either one doesn't matter. Stick them in the Everton training session. Okay. See what happens when Sean Dyche takes a look at them and goes, "Right, mate."
Thank God you did the voice.
I thought you were going to actually come with something legit. All right, got it. Nonsense. Love it.
If we're moving Mbappe around, we are talking about Mbappe. So if we're moving him around, could you imagine if he ended up with Aston Villa?
Yeah,
with another one.
That would be like, because Aston Villa is chock full of people who can drop a ball on a dime, put it at his feet like that. Woo-ha.
Aston Villa. Fuck Aston Villa. It's far better. Does anyone happen to know if Mbappe is a fan of Deadpool?
I don't know.
Because if he is, they might do an audacious bid to go, do you want to meet Ryan Reynolds, mate? How do you like It's Always Sunny? Are you a fan of The Trash Man and The Maniac? Do you want to go and play down in Wales for a little bit? Yeah, it's a real place.
Damn near killed him.
It's not just an animal. Yeah, I know. but seriously, and also just quickly to answer their question, Leeds 3-1, Bamford, Ampadu 121.63 to 1. Bosh.
All right, so he
All
just came
right.
up with nonsense. So anybody got
Not nonsense.
legitimate,
Not nonsense. Great content.
legitimate
Great
Mbappe
content.
transfer? I say Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he kind of fits best with Liverpool right now. Like if you have Mo Salah on the right and Mbappe on the left, like it's kind of fuck. What do you do there?
I thought they came to an agreement with Mbappe. I thought they agreed that he weren't going there.
That's probably what they've agreed to.
I just see a Lukaku issue if Mbappe went to Liverpool, where it was just
Way
like,
different players. Way different players. Though.
I totally agree with that, but also it's one of those things where it's like, you know, there's this, I don't want to say pressure to perform, but you kind of almost put pressure on yourself to show the world that they brought me into this new league and I'm going to crush it. And it didn't quite work out. Now, I know that, like, you know, there was kind of management issues and kind of personality conflicts between Tuchel and, you know, but I don't know. That's what I see. I don't think there's enough ball going around for at Liverpool, and I think they want to stick with the players that they have up front because they're awfully deep up front.
Why? What is up with all this
quality?
Common sense stuff? I thought we said we're dreaming here.
28 seconds ago, he was upset at my nonsense. And
I
now
was.
he's all like,
I was. Now you guys.
Nonsense.
I want to. Let's bring it to the center. You guys are on different ends of the spectrum.
The center.
Well, well, I gotta say, Gary, you reminded me of a very important thing, which is we're dreaming here, and let's fucking dream. Mbappe on Arsenal would be fucking incredible. I'm sorry, Martinelli, you have not been cutting it out there on that left side. Neither has fucking anybody. But imagine Mbappe out on the left. Bring him to. He's another player who can play centrally. He can play on the left. He can play on the right if he needs to. He is just mind-blowingly fast and better on the ball than anyone on our team. And can finish and can assist and can just burn past people. He would make any team better, but I think Arsenal are actually not a bad fit for him. So when it comes down to him not going to Madrid and everybody saying, okay, Liverpool's getting him, Arsenal, you want to be a big club again. I know we said this with Declan Rice, but you want to be a big club again, fucking go out and, like, let's stop looking at the Ivan Toney. Let's stop looking at Brentford fucking rejects, Chelsea rejects. And why don't we start looking at big players?
Ivan Toney is hardly a reject. You would take him in a minute. You guys just can't afford him right now.
You don't understand. We're dreaming here once again, Mark. Bring it. Head up in the clouds, dude. We're dreaming.
Okay.
Anybody can hit a shot. We want the best, and Mbappe's the man. We're bringing him home. There you go. Done.
Yeah, BX says next summer will be a winger's dream transfer window. He thinks Mbappe, Rafael Leao, Vinny Jr., Son, and Salah as well will be moving on. It's not crazy. All those people. Mbappe's definitely leaving. Leao seems like he's going nowhere this season, but
I don't think Leao is going anywhere.
Last season.
I don't think
Leao has to take a step up. He's got to take a step up. I know Inter Milan AC Milan. I know he's fucking they're a cherished club and all that, but let's be honest. Leao needs to be at Barcelona, Real Madrid, or in the Premier League.
Sure.
I heard of a rumor.
I don't see Junior going anywhere, and I don't see Son going anywhere. Even if we're dreaming,
unfortunately, Vinny would have to move to like Saudi Arabia.
I had a dream that Barcelona and Patrick Bamford were one and the same, and Bamford wore the Barcelona shirt, and he scored 4 goals in one game.
Okay. All right.
You
All
said
right. Let's
dreaming.
all right. Yeah. Now that's not even. That's like beyond dreaming. Come on.
That's just you're just hoping that he's off your team soon.
Do you want?
I can't help. I can't
Bamford
help it
off
if
your
two
Cheers.
team?
things aligned.
What is that?
What the
Oh.
hell is that? You drinking like vermouth tonight?
Tequila.
Anejo
I do have-
tequila.
I do have one more serious transfer for you,
Oh,
though.
what is serious? What level of serious are we hitting this time?
Not very high, if I'm being
Oh.
honest. But Troy Deeney got sacked last night from Forest Green Rovers after 6 matches, and I believe he was there for 29 days, something like that.
Yeah, it was his
you should have
first
seen the things
his
he was
first
saying
attempt
to-
at managerial position.
Yeah,
But didn't he
you
call
should
out
see
all
the
of his
things.
players and
Yeah.
everybody like on social
Yeah.
media?
One of his players happened to be the player that missed the penalty for Coventry in the playoff final. That basically Luton got promoted. So he basically went to him, "Why do you think you're here instead of at Coventry in the Premier League? It's basically because you're a failure. And the way you've been playing here, you'll be in the National League next year." And it was like, all right, these things might be true, but how does that help the team or the player to tell him that?
He did not read the manual. One
No.
thing you have to do is hype up your man, hype out your men, hype out your fans, hype out your manager. Everything is positive. Or else, what's the point? What are you doing? It's written in the manual. Number one.
I didn't even realize that Deeney was no longer like, I thought he was still kind of somewhere in some teeny weeny
He was
league
playing for Birmingham
with his
last year.
teeny weeny beanie. But
Teeny weeny beanie Troy Deeney?
teeny weeny beanie
But
Troy
Mark-
Deeney. Absolutely. Can I
my
get that
point
on a
is-
jersey?
Teeny weeny beanie.
But I know who they're going to replace him with. I've seen it.
Rooney.
No.
Dele Alli?
No, we're talking
Looking
about
like
Forest Green
with
Rovers
and
here.
a
Jose
glass of
Mourinho is
Frosé?
going to get the job. Jose Mourinho, he's available. Jose Mourinho, he probably likes the environment. I don't know.
Am I
I
the
don't know him.
only one that felt that, like, when I read the news that he had been sacked, was anybody else shocked? Because I didn't see that coming. Was
No,
it
it wasn't
something that
shocked.
was out there?
I
Was
mean,
I just
he's
not
gonna-
paying attention?
Well, he's been at Roma, which was a step down to begin with. And then he was
from Chelsea?
given.
After being at Tottenham.
Well, I mean, it's for his caliber. Like, if you're gonna move to a second class league, and I'm sorry, to me, it's La Liga, Premier League, and Bundesliga. After that, you're down a row. If you're gonna move there, you're Jose Mourinho. You move to the best club and you take over and you start winning shit. You move to Roma, it's always an uphill battle. You're gonna be in European competitions, but to win, it's gonna be rough. And he was given some people here and there. He had what's his name from? Oh my God, Tammy Abraham.
Tammy
who-
Abraham, yeah.
Yeah, who he kind of got some good stuff out of. And so look, it's like, what are you gonna
Not
do
enough,
from
clearly.
Roma? To be honest,
Right.
Chelsea would be the answer right now because Pochettino's having a hard time. But Pochettino is really the answer for them in the long run. So I don't think they're gonna move for Mourinho. But I don't think anybody should move for Mourinho right now.
I bet Chelsea can't even afford to sack Pochettino, even if they wanted to.
I bet Chelsea are still paying Mourinho.
I
Yeah.
would agree with that. I am very certain they're paying
And Tottenham are still paying Poch.
no less than 3 managers right
I
now.
was going to say, the only thing with that, the reason they wouldn't be paying him is because usually these payoffs only occur until the manager gets employment. So, like, they're
Right,
paying
it's kind
Graham
of like
Potter.
alimony.
Yeah, but they're paying Potter right now because Potter ain't took another job. But that will stop the second he goes back into management. That's my understanding of it.
The entire
Yeah.
amount, or just the difference?
I think
He
it's the
would
difference.
get basically his compensation would be what basically he'd be getting his weekly salary that he would usually be getting until he gets another job, which would then obviously take over that salary. Again, I could be wrong, but that's generally the spirit of what happens.
Yeah, that's no. If Chelsea's paying these managers what they kind of in line with what they're playing the players, there's no rush to go back and coach and manage.
I do
Is there?
wonder how many clubs are paying Frank Lampard right now. Then
Yeah, there's no.
I don't think Chelsea is paying Frank, because I think like it was
no, because he was part time.
it was one of those things where it's just like, look, here, stand here during the matches and don't do anything. We just need you to stand there, and we're gonna pay you X amount. It's like
that's a
who
Nuno
did
kid.
who
That's
did
Nuno. What Nuno's doing right now? Stand in the dugout while the
but
owner.
it also comes down to if you were fired or if you.
Mhm.
Well, I guess
Managers
nobody
don't
really
quit.
walks
Managers
away.
don't quit anymore
Never
because
mind.
of the
Well,
payouts.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause the payout.
as far as like
I was thinking about a normal job.
the
Yeah.
gentle letdown of the fan base and the press. Oh, it was a mutual decision that these two
30 years
these
ago,
two
Mark, that was the
these
case.
two individuals stepped away from one another. No, you got fired or you quit, and you said your wife is a lousy lay.
Wait, what?
Yes, I said that.
When I first started
And-
football, you didn't want to be sacked as a manager because of the embarrassment and the stigma that came with it. So you would want to,
Sure.
like survey the land and see, like try and you'd basically like you can't fire me, I quit type of thing.
Yeah, and
Because
back
then
in the day,
you-
like Peaky Blinders era, if you got sacked, they actually put you in a sack and threw you out of the fucking stadium. So it was embarrassing.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god damn it, what is he talking about?
I was actually then
okay.
trying to think of fat football managers to then see like what poor sod would have to throw them at, but I didn't really think of that.
Enough players could get them thrown out.
It's someone like Big Sam is like, yeah, I don't care if you fire me. Fuck you. You're just gonna
Have
pay
to
me
throw his
money.
pint of wine hat as well. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So where do we think Jose should go? Where could you see him going right now?
Barcelona.
Boom! Nailed it on the first try, Tom. 10 points for you for trivia later.
Wow.
I
Jeez.
like points.
You think that's really going to work?
No.
Like,
I think Xavi's on a he's teetering on a knife's edge right now.
He has worked for Barcelona before.
no, I'm just wondering about his, his demeanor and all that kind of stuff, and if that, if that's going to work with the Barcelona players.
Well, I
It will
just
if they start
I
winning.
would
It's
wait
not-
for
you know
that
what,
like
the-
classic, Jose rant to the media, like a presser, and he just goes off on a tangent, and
It's-
you have no
yeah.
idea what he's talking about, and then he says, "You know what I'm talking about."
Yeah.
No
No, I'm
doubt
saying
he's
it's
on
not.
that.
No, I was going to say
We've
it's not
seen,
like
so many times.
yeah, it's not like Klopp or Pep walks into the building and everybody's listens, right? It's not the same. I don't think he carries the same kind of weight like that, and I think that's what they need.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I know he's got the
I
CV for it, but
I think those
sometimes-
lists of trophies would make people prick up their ears.
No, but
for
his
sure,
football
you
would
know?
benefit them in the back end of a Champions League
Mm.
because he would make them hard to beat.
Yeah.
That like that's how granted Real Madrid had Ronaldo, etc. But he still won the Champions League with 3 different clubs of different caliber. Like
Mhm.
despite what we all say about him or what was said about him, that he still won the Champions League with Porto.
Who?
Jose
Mourinho.
So
Mourinho.
Barcelona,
Yeah.
So Barcelona, if they got him, would be able to challenge with City and Napoli and
Barcelona are
Yeah,
so
and Real
close right
Madrid.
now. Barcelona are so close, but they've got a very new manager who's, he's a legend and he's an incredible footballer, but he's figuring it out as he goes along, and he's got a lot of personalities to do. But
So is he doing a bad job, or is
No,
it just
no,
you
I
gotta
don't
wait?
think it's
You
No,
gotta take your
exactly.
time.
but he
You just gotta
might
take
be
your
out of
time,
his
right?
depth. He might be out of his
So you
depth.
don't think he'll get there in a year or two?
He may well do. I'm
But is
just
it?
saying that if they did sack Xavi tomorrow, then that's who they would have ready made to bring in,
Yeah,
right? Again, I don't think that will happen. But
yeah.
when you ask the question, what, because they're Barcelona practically the only elite club that is not managed, and
Yeah.
Tottenham.
No, but Gary, so Xavi, they won the league last year. They
Mhm.
won La Liga. But it's still known that they're in a transition
How many years has he been
phase.
doing this
He's
thing, like working as
3
a
maybe.
manager? No, as a
2
manager.
or
Was he?
3.
Is this
2 or
like
3.
two? That's it. Just
First
two.
job. First
First
job, yeah.
job. Like I like the reason why I'm asking is, do you want to have a manager for a decade, or do or if Moreno comes in, he's gone in what 2-3 years, right?
Elite clubs
And
don't
you
care
might
for
be back.
Well,
managers there for a
We might be
decade
back
anymore.
starting again, redoing this thing again in 2-3 years, and you might have won a trophy. It's not guaranteed, but if Xavi gives you another, for example, another 7 to 8 years left, your chances are
but
higher.
but that all comes down to aspirations, teams' aspirations, and
Mm.
you look at it. Barcelona fans and all of Barcelona are wary on Xavi, and he won the league last year.
Yeah.
Like, he won the fucking league, and they weren't expected. They had just been hit with all these fines, and they lost Messi. They've got all these kids, all these injuries. What are we going to do? We can't spend money. We've got this new manager who doesn't really know what he's doing. They go on and win the league. But for them, for a club like Barcelona and Real Madrid, it is crazy how much more important the Champions League is than La Liga. It just puts you at a different level where, we as Arsenal fans, if we won the league, we're keep the gaffer for 20 fucking years. They win the league and they're like, yeah, but we were we weren't even in the Champions League last year. Well, now we're out in the third round this year. That's no good. Win the league. Yeah, because Real Madrid took a sleep,
Right. But isn't that more kind of indicative of the fact that Barcelona pretty much, they win their league consistently, right?
Well, either
I
them
don't
or
really
Real
pay a lot
Madrid
of
or
attention.
Atletico Madrid. But Real Madrid have kind of sustained their place after losing Ronaldo. Barcelona losing Messi, which happened, I think, the next season, or maybe, no, a couple seasons later, because Ronaldo went to Juventus. But when Messi left, they were just sort of in shambles, and then all the financial shit came out. They couldn't buy players, all that. So they just weren't expected to win the league. And Atletico Madrid had come into it where it was no longer a 2-horse race. So it's just shocking that they won the league. And when you're like, oh, well, it was a bad year from Real Madrid, and it's like, well, Barcelona gave up 20 goals the entire season. You're doing something right when you do that. You give up 20 goals
Absolutely.
the entire season. They scored less goals than Real Madrid, and they won the league by 10 points. They won the league. Jesus, I didn't realize that. They won the league by 10 points. They put that shit away. So, but it just shows you the difference of where clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid are, where it is the Champions League that's the most important. They'll
Quick
let
pop quiz for you all.
Girona win the league this year. Who cares? The league doesn't matter. Go win the Champions League.
That's what matters to these clubs. How many teams do you think have won La Liga? Because obviously, as you said, Real Madrid win it the most, and then it's
13.
Barcelona. How
I'll
many
say
in total?
13. 13.
It's not 13. It's not 4. It's somewhere in the middle.
7.
8.
8 is, I would be saying, you are correct if you was correct. But you are close.
I will choose 9.
Tom, you are comedy gold right now.
Thank
Mr. Tom, I would tell you were funny if
If
Made me
funny,
laugh.
funny.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you made me laugh, I would tell you were funny.
Oh, I can do it. Joe Pesci sat there. I think you make me laugh, funny guy. Funny guy.
You think I'm funny?
You're not that funny.
Funny how?
No, no,
Funny
not
how?
that
Funny, ha.
What are you saying? Like funny haha like I'm a clown? What do you mean I'm
Here
funny?
to amuse you?
Huh? Huh? Like I'm here to amuse? Huh? Huh?
Yeah. Anyway, well,
What
guys,
movie's that
it's about time. It's about time for us to. Oh wait, did you give us the answer, Tom?
No, it's 9. It's 9.
Oh, okay, 9. Name them.
9.
Okay. It's Real Madrid 35. Barcelona have 27. Atletico Madrid in 3rd place on 11. Then Atletico Bilbao have 8, but they've not won it since 1984. Valencia have 6. Real Sociedad have 2. Deportivo La Coruña won it once
1.
in 2000. Sevilla won it once in 1946. And Real Betis won it in 1935. One time.
Well,
It is
very
quite-
interesting stuff.
It is quite comical to hear, like, it's like these two teams have won like 40, 45 apiece, and then the next is like 15.
Yeah.
And Tottenham would have still managed to win it in no times.
That's very good.
Oh,
Perfect.
Tottenham.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go hit the little boys' room, smoke them if you got them, and feel free to enjoy this little segment that we recorded talking about world-class players. What does it mean to be a world-class player? Is Salah world-class? Is Saka world-class? Let's hear
One of the
what
things
boys
that
got-
I run across on various threads and various feeds is the idea of the world-class player. And you read lists and you see who's world-class, and it's pretty much for the last few years been the same people: Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe. And we know who's world class on, or at least I know, and I think a lot of people would agree. As far as Liverpool is concerned, definitely Mo Salah. But every once in a while, I kind of slide over into those Arsenal threads, and there's the screaming of how Bukayo Saka is a world class player. And that he is comparable or equal to, or I would take Saka over Salah every single time. And that in that case, that Saka has risen above and has taken his game to that level. And Salah, as he's gotten older, not quite the sure thing anymore. He's not quite the player he was. What do you guys think of that? I mean,
absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
There we go.
Absolute New York bullshit, baby. Sorry. No chance.
No, this is
fucking
worldwide.
chance.
I'm not just reading threads in New York,
No,
I'm an
sorry.
international individual.
I have to get the NYPD to arrest you for that, absolute craziness. Yeah. What do you call it? Hill Street Blues. Take them away, baby. But no chance. I mean, he's a good young player and stuff. Nah. I mean, different level.
Well,
do it for 10 years and I'll talk to you.
see, now there's something to me. Mark and I were having a discussion of what does world class actually mean.
time,
he
longevity,
was starting to mention
you know.
certain players, and I had to say, from my own opinion, like, I only think there's a handful of world-class players in the Premier League. Because to me, world-class is such a high, it's something that has to be indisputable.
Yeah.
And right now, maybe you're
I
not
think it's
seeing it on.
floated around too easy, Lolo. I think the word legend and the word world class are being watered down. Sorry.
No.
Watered down.
Absolutely.
You can't water down legends. You can't water down world. You know, you see players that played in the 90s, 90s, oh, he was a legend. No, he wasn't. You know what you're talking about, you know?
People talking, oh, Arteta, a club legend. And I'm like, Arteta? Legend?
No. It's crazy.
Well, let me sort of go into this a little bit, because I see it on Arsenal chatter all the time about the conversation of who's the best winger in the league, who's the best right winger in the league. And beginning of the season, nobody, at least once again, my Twitter feed is very Arsenal heavy, but Saka top, Salah second. Saka is world class, Salah is finished. And to me, I'm just like, you can't
grow up.
World class is not one game. Yeah. World class is not one season. World class is being able to
5, 6, 7, 8 seasons.
And the fact that you being on the pitch is always a concern for the other team. And as much as I love Saka, and I want to even include Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk is another one on your squad that I would say is one of the few world-class players.
And Alisson Becker in goal.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to side with you, Dave. I think Alisson is. I think he's world-class because he's been the top.
He's been top
one of the top for
years.
so long.
Take Virgil van Dijk out. He is not world-class.
Virgil van
Dijk does all the work. Trent Alexander-Arnold is so good because he doesn't have to defend when Virgil van Dijk is in the lineup.
So allow me to,
you can't have a world-class keeper with a world-class defender.
Those three are world-class.
Get out of here.
That's it.
I give it to Dawson before.
Calm down, guys. Just calm down.
He's all right.
He's all right.
No, Alisson is very, very good. Alisson is
for Lolo. Who's better than him? There's the question.
Aaron Ramsdale.
Better.
He can't even get a sniff.
Oh my God!
He's gonna be in a Wolves uniform in January.
Stop.
Who starts for Brazil? Who starts for Brazil?
Alisson.
Okay, there you go. I'll give it to Alisson then, because I hate Ederson.
Alisson starts more than Ederson. That's what I'm trying to say.
I hate Ederson with a passion. Yeah. So let me just get this out. For all those Arsenal fans who are comparing Saka to Salah, they're comparing Saliba to Van Dijk. So quick to say, best center back in the league, world class, Rolls Royce, best winger in the league, most frightening player to come up against in the league, Saka. I think we can praise Saka a ton. He deserves it. The boy deserves it. He's an incredible player. We can praise Saliba and call him our Rolls Royce because he is. He is our Rolls Royce. He is leaps and bounds better than any other defender we have and most defenders in the league. I think he might even one day be on par or better than Van Dijk. Maybe. But to right now compare going into the last 10 games of a season, you are fighting for the league. You are points away. There's a point or two difference between you and another team, whatever the other team is. Would you rather have Virgil van Dijk or Saliba, Salah or Saka? That's where it gets world class to me.
Do you want me to answer that question? Do you want me to answer that question? I say as an Arsenal fan,
to finish out the league, you need world class. And I'm sorry, but I go with Van Dijk and I go with Salah.
Yeah, all day long, all night long, as Lionel Richie would say, all night long. Big time.
Now we're demonetized. Thank you very much for singing that song. He's the only one who watches our show.
And then he's just gonna pull up in a limo and go, "That's my song."
Oh my
They're singing
goodness.
it different all night long, all night long, all night long, all night. Oh no, I went into Yellow Submarine.
Our sincere apologies to Lionel Richie and his publishing company and anyone else that
That
might
caught me by
have
surprise.
money involved in what we just did.
Yeah, I loved. I was watching y'all's face watching that, and I was just waiting for the Lionel Richie to pop on, and then just seeing all three of you. What? All night. Oh man. Yeah, that's what it would be. Yo, Chris Baldwin, good to see you as well, sir. Is saying nowhere near as many world-class players around as there used to be years ago. Do you guys think that's the case? Or is that just a bit of recency bias where not recency bias, but where we can look back and say this person was world class, this person was world class, where you say right now there aren't as many, but we may in the future. Like, what's the problem here? Are there less world class players?
Well, it's like an old adage, like you never know when you're in the good old. You never know you're in the good old days when you're in them, and you only realise it after the fact. So you will look back in 10 years' time and go, "Oh, that player was a lot better than I actually gave him credit for at the time." Maybe, for example, Patrick Bamford.
Okay. No, I was gonna say also, I think a lot of players don't stick around long enough to establish themselves that well. Sometimes, you look at a lot of the world class players we all talk about. They don't like travel around like a lot of them do. Like Mbappe, he's planning to leave. Even Haaland has left, right? I mean, he's and everybody thinks he still has one more move in him, right? He'll probably be world class, but there's not few that can do what he's been doing, right, at that level.
Yeah.
You've got KDB. Since he's set up a shop at City, nobody sees him probably not retiring there, unless he's ready. So I think the nomad life of a footballer is kind of contributing a little bit to that. Because nobody gets to establish themselves. Like I always go back to the Bayern Munich when Muller was a 20-year-old player sitting there watching, those two crazy men up top, Ribéry and Robin, right? Decades later, he's the one doing that, and now he's almost out. And is there anybody that you would go, well, that's the next world-class player for Bayern Munich right now, right? They brought in, Harry, right? But they haven't. Where's theirs? Where's the one that's been there for a while? Not yet, right? So I think that's a lot of it. That it's not even players don't get to stick around and build and work together because managers aren't there long either, right? A lot of times these managers they're helping these players get from where they started to the end, right? I think a lot. It's just I think the entire structures all changed. What we call world class will be different 10 years when you go back and look at this thing, and it won't be the same because there won't be. It's like looking at the NBA. Who's Michael Jordan? None of them. Nobody.
And
right?
I think that's one of the biggest problems in sports in general, in the NBA, in the NFL, in European football, is that you're always trying to be like, who's the next this guy? Who's going to be the next Ronaldo? Who's going to be the next Messi? And it's like, players that are trying to make a name for themselves, why can't they be the next Isak? Why can't they be the next Jesus or whoever, fill in your name? Let them make a name for themselves rather than that inevitable comparison to someone who was absolutely great when we watched them 5 times a year. One of the things that I'm hearing here, as far as like, who are the world-class players? Are there more world-class players? Are there less world-class players? I think there's more world-class players because we are being exposed to more and more and more football. 20 years ago, we weren't watching the Mexican League. We weren't watching Bundesliga. We weren't watching all these different leagues. And so now with all the access that we have, I mean, a player that wouldn't have gotten even notice 20, 25 years ago is now being celebrated because, oh, did you see that goal by dude? You know? Did you see that stop by that keeper that plays in the African League? We're exposed to so much now. We have the potential to see so many games that we do get to see. The stage has gotten bigger, I guess is what I'm saying. The stage has gotten bigger, and there's room for more world-class players than there were, say,
Well,
20 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever.
and Mark, to add to that, not only has the stage gotten bigger, but kind of as Gary was saying with the hinting at with the NBA, is you can't look back to 100 years ago and say this world-class player, there was only one or two world-class players back then. And it was like, yeah, those were the only naturally fucking incredible players to come out. They still work their day job. Nowadays, even half-ass players who would play me off the pitch, of course, but talking about your run-of-the-mill players who live their young adult life as professional football players, yet will never be even in a conversation of world class, would have been world class 100 years ago. It's like somebody said in the NBA, don't think for a moment that bench players in the NBA wouldn't show up to your local gym and put up 75 points in a pickup game because they're that much better than you. Everyone is that much better. Now, from a young age, money can be injected into your family to make you practice football more. And you will go off and be whoever you are. That's why I think the delineation of what makes a world-class player, it's just gone up, 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 up. And to me, there are maybe 5 world-class players in the Premier League. Boom, drop that.
Okay,
bomb.
name them. Who
Yeah,
are
who are the
those
5?
5? Who are the
I don't
5?
kiss and tell, Mark.
Yeah, you do. So stop playing
sorry,
You
around.
will
Gary,
now.
You're right.
Stop
You're right.
playing
You will
around. Look at
now.
him. He's blushing. He's like, nah,
Yeah,
I
you're
do.
right,
All right,
Come on.
all right. How many of the 5 play for Arsenal?
Come on. 0.
Come on, Mr. Tom.
Really?
We're having a legitimate
As I said it, Arsenal do not
conversation
have
here.
any world-class players on our team. We could look back 20 years from now and say, fuck, well, yeah, of course Arsenal won all these trophies because they had Saka, Odegaard, Declan Rice, the 3 to me who have potential to be world-class.
Okay,
They are not
why don't
world
we
class
start
currently as of now.
why don't we start ass end, start at goalie, move forward? Who are world class players in the Premier League?
Ederson's
Who's-
a world-class goalkeeper.
who's our world
Allison
class
is the
goalie?
Allison is the only world class keeper. Ederson's a
All
twat.
right.
Pickford
that
and all
Okay,
the
that-
other.
okay,
that's
Arsenal
that,
wires,
that is
though.
not a reason for him not to be in the list.
Yeah, it does.
That
is-
It's
I
his biggest
myself-
It's
downfall.
not a reason. It's not a reason for him not to be in the list.
Is Emi Martinez on this world-class
Nope.
goalkeeper list?
Why
Nope.
not?
No, because I mean he's just not. He's
In the league, he is nowhere close to what you get from the top 2 goalkeepers in the league. Not even
I
close.
don't like him, but again, I'm wondering, like, is my bias why I don't think he is?
Who, Emmy Martinez?
look
Yeah,
right here.
Luffy's
Colonel
been
Ward,
fine.
Ederson, Allison, and Martinez. To me, the 3 best keepers in the league. World class. Allison just ticks the boxes for me. As I said in the video, I'm not putting him as one of my world class players.
Yeah, I mean, you said 5, so that would not
Keeper
going to
is an
include 2
easier-
goalkeepers. Yeah, But I mean,
keeper is a lower bar than everybody else, I guess, because
no, but if you okay, so what does a world class goalkeeper have to do than what they've done?
I can justify why I think Ederson is world class.
Okay.
Okay, reason why is because he is the goalkeeper that made Pep stop changing the goalkeeper, because he could have gone with Joe Hart and he didn't. He was like, no, too many mistakes, not consistent enough, or whatever it is. And then he brought in Ederson. Ederson does what he wants him to do, play out from the back, be a sweeper keeper, which now means that most of football in England has a sweeper keeper because of Ederson. The main reason that I actually think Ederson is world class is because he does the thing that it makes you world class to be a goalkeeper, is when you're barely involved in the game, and then when you need to make a save, makes that save.
Yeah.
It's all right, for example, I'm going to use Ian Melier as an example. It's all right making the most saves in the Premier League in a team that finishes 17th 2 years ago, but he's in the game. Like, he's constantly involved because of how much the action is at his end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Ederson's completely the opposite. How many times do you actually see him in a game? Very, very little. But then when he needs to be on, he's on.
Yeah. As I said, these three guys, Ederson, Allison, and Martinez, are all, to me, those are the three best keepers in the league. I'm going to put Allison as world class and Ederson not, because of Allison's goal.
Okay.
Because he scored a fucking goal.
Okay. So
if he came in and he scored it, was it a header?
You know what? For if we're doing this
Against
correctly,
hold on.
It was the winner.
Lolo, if you're taking Ederson out, I want to throw in, as someone who has completely impressed me this season, and maybe I have a very weak definition of world class, but Vicario.
But
Vicario is
world class requires more than just half a season, so it's not even he doesn't even qualify to be even put into a candidate list for world class for
okay.
Based
So
on
what
if you look
does
at
it take?
world class players that Lolo's talking about, none of them have like 6 months of yes, they've been playing at that level. I have no doubt they've got 5 to 10 years of playing at that level.
You don't think playing in, what is it, Serie A? Was he with
at this level of
Udinese?
play that he's right now? We're looking at
with
him as a really good goalkeeper in the Premier League.
I'm
right?
absolutely dissing Syria. No, Gary, spot on. But Mark also prefaced that statement with, I may have a very low bar. And I think this is what I'm trying to do here, guys, is raise my own bar away from the Twitterverse, Xverse, Instagram world of boob, 2 goals from fucking Ollie Watkins, world class. And you're like, he might be fantastic. He might be having the season of his life, but world class is different. When a player like Jude Bellingham moves to Real Madrid and is better than he fucking was before,
well,
you're you notice world class in an instant, and you go, "That's
you're talking generational talent."
I'm talking world class. Yeah, man. That's why I won't even put our best players: Saliba, Odegaard, Rice, Saka. I think they're all potentially world class. I think in 20 years we will look back and say, those guys, how lucky were we to have them on our team?
Odegaard, yes. Saliba, no.
I think that's.
But Odegaard is the player that I would say that will be considered one day world class. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, Declan Rice could easily be. Saliba could easily be. Okay, so
but as
you
long as Kevin De Bruyne is playing, Rice is never going to surpass him.
yeah, but you can still be world class. You don't need
And I
to
think
be the only world
that
class.
Kevin De Bruyne is the definition of world class right now. I mean, he
Oh my
came
God,
off
yes.
of like a fucking 9-month injury, 7th-month injury, and he comes in and he scores a goal and has an assist. And the assist was just stupid. Stupid, yo.
Sorry,
Yeah,
can you do that
and
again,
I
please?
captained him. Okay, so let me ask you guys. Who are the 5 world-class players in the EPL?
Salah, KDB.
Okay.
And guys, while
Okay.
we're taking
All
a
right,
moment to
so-
think about it, hold on, everybody in the comment section,
Maybe
put,
Virgil van
put
Dijk.
put down in there right now who are the 5 world-class. If you could say there are 5 world-class players, world-class top 5,
So, I mean,
who
like,
are the only 5
in the
that
Premier
are
League? So okay.
in the
Right.
Premier League?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's start with the players that we can all agree upon. Kevin De Bruyne, I think we can all agree upon, right? Anyone?
Yep.
It's probably that
Lolo?
5 what BX Gunners wrote down.
No, we can
Yeah, I
do we
think
can
B-
do 5.
BX
I think
BX
we
Gunner has
argue about a couple.
Well, I think BX Gunner might have nailed my 5, and unfortunately, they're on 2 teams, which fucking sucks, right? When when it hits you in the face. What about Colonel Ward, Pascal Stroy, Calvin Phillips, Nonto, and Firpo?
Not Mr. Tom loves that last one. I know he does.
Isn't
Yeah, I gotta admit,
isn't that
my
only
thought
4 people,
process-
or are you counting
I-
Pascal and Stroik as 2 different people?
I think I would struggle to put. Look,
It's only 4 leagues players,
Salah
so-
is
Julian
world-class.
Alvarez.
Salah is world class, but I would take him off the list to put Holland.
Saliba.
All
You
right, so
know?
Mark, give me your 5 then. Let me hear your
Amazing.
5.
All right, world class, and that's where it gets crazy. It could be like, oh, top 5. Holland,
Wow.
Virgil van Dijk, Kevin De Bruyne. Ooh, and this is where it gets weird.
So, question: you got Virgil van Dijk. So why isn't Rodri would bump him then? If Haaland can bump Salah, right?
I could easily do that. But the problem is with Rodri is he's had a couple of red cards this season.
Yeah, but I mean, is he world-class player or not? Is the question.
I actually think that shows
world-class
more
player
that he is world
isn't
class.
just what he did in the last 6 months. Remember that.
It gets
but what
crazy.
happened when Rodri was suspended?
Like 5 is
They struggled,
like,
right?
You know,
when
you
Haaland
might
was
be able to
out,
say-
they didn't struggle at all with Haaland out. With KDB out right now, they're not struggling with him, right? They're much more closer to 100% ready to go with KDB there, but Haaland they're not missing him even now.
Okay, sure. Without Kevin De Bruyne, they're a 6th place team, and they've shown that because he's been removed from the team the entire time. Yeah. Now with him back, they're a contender to win the league.
Yeah.
You know, I've often have thought to myself that, you know what? I think Liverpool is just as good without Salah as they are with him. They're loaded up front.
I'm not too sure on that, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, and I think you might be the only one on that train.
That's fine. I will die on that hill. But they've got Jota.
You'd immediately be killed on that hill if that was the situation.
Maybe. But hey, he's got a hamstring injury that could keep him out for a month and a half, 2 months, maybe the entire season. We will see. I think Liverpool is going to be just fine. Chris, if you're out there watching, you heard it here first. but
Bandy
they're
says
deep up
Messi,
front.
Modric, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Archie Gray.
Jesus, Bandy.
Cheers,
He's right,
Bandy.
though.
It's
he's
almost
right.
like this
Are you supposed to
crazy
drink that
love
much
for-
tequila in one shot? How's it? How are you like
I've
watering
only
it down
drank
or
like
something?
this much.
No, that's
What do you-
factually correct.
What are you,
that list.
the
Order me a
the-
cab.
Order your cab so you can get upstairs.
Yeah. Gary, what is your 5?
Oh,
I'm gonna go grab some more mixers, but tell me your
Yeah.
5.
for me, definitely Salah for me, KDB for sure. I mean, I do like the goalkeepers. I mean, I do like that first go around. I don't know, like if we're saying 5, easy peasy, not even. I don't think there's much discussion. Those would be the 5. Everybody else for me has question marks, and like they still need to do it for a little bit longer. All right, for me. So there are yes others that are playing at world class level now, but when you go with you add a longevity onto it, then that takes it away for a bit. All right. So yeah, no. There are players at that level, as you said, like that big list that we saw earlier with Rodri and who else was on that list? Because there are some good names on that list. I mean, Julian Alvarez, is he
No.
close to a Rodri at this point? No, right?
No.
Kudus,
You know,
not
and-
really. Saliba, I think Saliba, it's the company he keeps that's holding him back a little bit because he's not able to shine enough that it doesn't matter that we have who knows who's playing behind him and who's playing in
Right.
front of him. You know what I mean? Like right now, Virgil van Dijk, like when he was at his prime, anytime you thought there was a threat, he was like, nah, and they were winning games because of that. You know. Saliba still got time, so I don't think I don't know. We don't have to rush him that much.
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
So,
I actually
Saliba's
think-
super young, but
so
I guess it all depends on what is the definition of world class, and I don't necessarily know that I know.
It's a feeling.
know,
it's
so-
a feeling.
so-
you
It's
know
a
when
feeling,
you see it.
yeah.
you know,
Tom, tell 'em.
are you just looking at that player and going, "No, you're the best in the world. I fucking love you."
Yeah.
But it's just
That's
like,
exactly
fuck,
what it
man.
is.
You could be a West Brom fan and look at a player on the pitch and go, "Oh, I fucking love that guy."
yeah, but then if somebody
Yeah.
said, if I give
But-
you
but-
Virgil van
but
Dijk,
I-
would you take
I
him?
would-
You're like, yes,
I
I'm going to
would-
take him, right? I'll find a space for him.
Yeah,
Am I going to take
yeah,
a?
sure.
Am I going to take a
But-
Rodri?
but,
Yes, I'll take it. I'll
you
take him.
know,
I'll find a
I
spot
mean,
for him.
what? I mean, we've been talking about it on a couple of shows. Obviously, we showed it on the bio break. You know, what is? I've only been watching for a few years. What is that definition of world class?
To
Anyone
me,
know
it
it
has
when you
it
see
has
it.
a consistency and a longevity to take into account of being consistently badass and unstoppable.
It's the reason we've all said Salah more than Haaland, and that's because
Yeah.
Salah's been doing it a lot longer in England against better
Yep.
players than Haaland has.
Yep.
When Haaland gets 30 goals a season for 5 seasons in a row, he will then be in this conversation. But right now, he will be in this conversation, but right now, not in this conversation.
There's no rush for him, and you know, even if
Exactly.
he goes to Real Madrid, it'll be the exact same thing. He'll just continue to add to that
Mhm.
list of
Yep.
things, that
Yep.
CV that you want out of your world class player. So I don't think he's going to stop now because I think he's got the bug, as they say. It's just only going to get crazier from here.
He
When
ain't gonna lose sleep over this. He'll be all right. He's a good kid. He'll be all right. But I like to give my 5, but I'm gonna do something quite special for everyone. I'm gonna use bits of everyone's picks. All right. So basically, I'm automatically looking at. We're gonna say, Moss said Bamford. Yeah, that's good. Bandy saying Archie Gray. Great shout. Conche said Ruter. Again, amazing. I wish I'd thought of it myself. Need 2 more. Did anyone else? Calvin Phillips, obviously. And fuck it. Colonel Ward Firpo. That's my 5. 5 great. And they're great lads as well.
There
They're
you
great
go.
lads as well. They would
There you
help
go.
your nan across the street. Maybe not Nonto. He'd
So
probably try and sell
since we've mentioned him, Calvin Phillips, what's the rumor out there right now? I don't remember, but there's a rumor of him going. Is it to Newcastle?
Newcastle. Well, Newcastle would really love him, and he would be very, very useful on Newcastle. But he's going nowhere. I talked to him yesterday.
You know,
Why is
I
that
was
surprising?
talking to him, and
Yo,
he said,
I called that motherfucker
Make
and
me
I
sad
told
what
him.
happened to that man.
and he said, I'm not going anywhere.
He says,
Pineapple.
fuck me, I'm going to fucking Newcastle and fuck that. Nope, not going. Anyway. Okay, you want my 5?
Why
Yeah, why
not?
not?
Yeah, I mean, well, we know it. So I'm going to give you Allison, Virgil van Dijk, Salah, KDB, Rodri. That's my 5. And fucking close second there. Like, almost. Do you guys know who's the player that on the Lolo meter is almost punching through right now? Who would that 6th person be? Would it be? I'm not gonna mention any names because that would just give it away.
I'm sorry, but I would throw out there Kieran Trippier.
Ooh, good one. Nah, he used to play for Tottenham, so fuck
God, it's
him.
cold, Ryan.
What's wrong? Why can't you be festive when you want to be festive? What's up with that? Tell him to step back.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Going after my man's
Who
attire.
Who is?
Ryan.
It's that darn Mr. Arsenal podcast.
Oh,
Yeah. You know what? What? Because of this disrespect, he should give me 400 of his coins.
Good shout, Chris Baldwin. Son, I think is close to being world class. I think Sonny Boy is close to being world class, but he's not.
It comes with trophies when you start to distinguish between the world class players at some point, right? Because there's levels to this thing, and when you've got a Champions League and other trophies, and I think it just
Those matter.
It adds to it when you're trying to distinguish. When you're trying to distinguish between the players, because people brought up Martinez, right? And in the league, not as the same player as what we saw in the World Cup, right?
Success is relative,
right? So I think it's if you're going to bring Martinez into it, and he's not the same player in the league, he doesn't have the same confidence like he had in that World Cup, right? That World Cup, Emi Martinez, and then in the Premier League, Martinez, not the same. He just doesn't look as confident. He's not doing the same things. People aren't pissed off at him as much in the league. They're laughing.
I don't agree on the trophy thing.
Well, it definitely changes the dialogue, of who's considered
you don't
world
agree
class.
on that,
if
Tom?
that is
No, I agree
if
with
that's
what BX is saying.
if that's the part of the criteria.
If France won the penalty shootout,
a lot.
Sorry,
for
that was rude of me.
No, go ahead.
If
Tom.
France have won the penalty shootout, so then Mbappe had another World Cup and Messi had none, would people have stopped saying he was the greatest player of all time? Of course they wouldn't have. People would have still pushed that narrative regardless of who won.
He wouldn't have won the last trophy that he won, right? If I wouldn't have won the last individual trophy, if he.
You don't think Messi would play in 3 years? Messi will be fine to play in 3 years. Yeah, he'd be fine. Okay, so listen, if no trophies don't define a player's world-class ability, therefore, the fact that you win trophies
it does if you play for Tottenham, though.
Should also not That's my thing with Emmy Martinez is you keep calling him Emmy Martinez. I almost said Martinez. My dad would smack me in the face if he
Sorry,
heard me ever
I
say
swear I've heard that
Martinez.
name being used, and I don't know. So what is it?
It is Gary. White people publicly use
Oh, I'm
this.
sorry. You know what? Don't classify me with those people.
Yeah, well, don't say it then.
Sorry.
Who you calling white, Gary?
Wait, what?
What? Like I'm? Come on. Why don't you call
Martinez.
me? Why don't you call me what
You're
I
not-
am? Which is kind of a
Just
rosy
don't say
pink,
just don't say
you
it with
know?
a Spanish
Come
list.
on. I'm not like a white guy.
I'm not sat here at 1:42 a.m. to be racially abused by Gary.
Gary. Gary.
Jesus
I didn't-
Christ. You know, I gotta say, Mr. Tom, that you and I shouldn't have to go through this at any time of the day.
Yeah,
true.
Mark,
That is true.
Mark.
Because
I am
historically,
so
we
sorry
have
this
suffered a
happened
lot.
on my show, and I apologize. Sometimes these people, these Cowboys fans, they
people.
talk to people in a way that we're gonna move on if that's okay.
You know, if I could just add to that,
I would not like
the
you
Dallas
to, but
Cowboys need to change their name.
Oh my gosh.
They need to change their name to the Dallas Tampons because they're only good. They're
my
only
God.
good for one period, and they've only got one string.
Damn. You went there. People.
Who's Ari?
I don't know who Ari
Ari
is.
Redknapp's channel.
He's
I
been
didn't even know
drinking
he
that
had one.
tequila. He can't type anymore.
no, I've been drinking that tequila. I typed too fast for my laptop. I typed too fast. It's like, yo, I didn't get that. You want me to send it? I'll send it anyway, but I didn't get that first part. And it sends it, and then I go, stupid computer.
Oh man.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. I mean,
white people.
Martinez. Yeah. I didn't say he started it though. How comes he starts it and I get all the? And I get
Yeah,
all
I
the-
know.
Because you're a Cowboy fan.
Because you're a Cowboy fan.
So tomorrow, super early for us in the United States, and maybe not too early for Mr. Tom, we've got Arsenal and Crystal Palace. What's happening? What's happening tomorrow?
I'm scared. I keep saying I tell this all the time that Arsenal's good for 3 goals. I keep saying it in my head and like I can't say it anymore. Can we score 1 goal first, and then I'll worry about the second one. All right, that's where I'm at right now. Like we just took a vacation. They got all the sun and the steak that they wanted, right? So they should be all ready to go. I didn't like the practice tape that they showed. I didn't like it. So still shows all the problems we got. So hopefully they've learned. But I'm concerned that we're going to see the same thing we saw before. These guys going to, like before they were looking forward to the holiday season. Now they're going to have Dubai Blues and stuff, so I don't know what type of team we're going to get. Are they going to be up for this fight? Because I think Crystal Palace will come to play no matter what, right? Doesn't matter who they're missing. They will come to play, and we've seen it all season. If you don't do your job, they will do their job, and you won't like it.
Oh, I'm excited, Gary, about this match. Arsenal are going to go up 3-0 in the first half. Mr. Tom, put that on your bet sheet. Fuck, we didn't do betting in the dark. God damn it. I have betting in the dark. John sent it to me. But Martin Odegaard will have 3 assists tomorrow morning.
I'm looking forward to
Very
that.
adventurous.
Let me just say 3 G/A. 3 goals or assists tomorrow.
I'll take that.
Martin
You know what? If there's one player
Alright.
that needs to do something like that, he would be one, because then that would mean that we're having a
It's
good day all
happening.
around, right?
Right.
It is happening.
I I don't give two fucks about this match. Actually, I do.
But you do,
But
because you're
what I
about to.
do love is the response that Roy Boy gave when he was told about the Arsenal. Oh, they're not playing so well, and they were like, "Oh, they had this this result, this result, this result," and Roy looked dead in the camera and he said, "Oh wow, man, that's absolutely chaotic."
No, Mark. Yes,
You know
but
what I'm
Mark,
saying?
you're
But
butchering
as
it.
Come on. He's
No,
doesn't
he said
give
one
two
word. He said
shits
one
about
word.
who he's playing.
He said one
He
word.
just wants to play.
It was brilliant, Mark, because you're right. That interview was brilliant. They said, "What do you think about Arsenal?" They've and he's like, "What do you think about what do you mean Arsenal?" And he's like, "They've lost 2 matches in a row, and if you guys beat them, that could become 3, and then they'll, what would you think about that?" And he goes, "Crisis."
Crisis. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it.
Crisis.
Like
Not
crisis.
chaotic.
So you
but
know what they're gonna,
crisis.
you know how they're gonna play tomorrow. We know exactly how this thing's gonna
I
go.
want
Right?
more
We're gonna
managers
struggle. They're
like
gonna lay it on us.
Roy and
They're gonna.
and Deich, and I want more managers like that.
Well, you know what you're supposed to. You're supposed to do this though. When a team is vulnerable, you're supposed to set your team up to make sure. Guess what? That vulnerability is a problem for them, and they can't stop it because you have you see that the weakling the weak link in the chain. You just lean on it. All right. If you
Sure,
don't, then
but
what's the point? That's what I don't understand with Arsenal sometimes is they'll have a player that should be on a yellow gets that yellow early in the game, and then we kind of go away from it, and you're like, wait, what are we doing? Punish them for that player with the yellow. You know what I mean? Because guess what? He has to
sure,
play
sure.
differently, and eventually either we get the goal and it's too late, or what happens
Sure.
usually is later in the second
But
half. When you're really going for it, they're like, he's out, and that's
right.
you got to punish teams.
But here's the thing that I'm trying to talk about here is that there are managers out there that are absolutely just like matter of fact, and they just lay it out there and like like with with Roy, it's like someone might say something and like, are you taking the piss? Or like a Sean Dyche who might be like, I'm not really sure why you're asking me that, but fuck off. When you get to like teams that have these kind of cavalier managers and are like, well, we lost, but it's only because of this or only because of that. It's like, I mean, like they're honest, they're pure, they're like, they're not the best managers, but they're what they say is just out there. I don't know if I'm making
David
sense
Moyes.
at all.
Yeah,
Well, Gary
you are. But
O'Neill's hand
David Moyes is 76 years old, so he's also a 76-year-old person just talking, and which I think is a brilliant. If we could have more 76-year-olds on camera,
I will take 100 David Moyes over a single Arteta. Just because they're
Nobody
so goddamn
asked you. Nobody asked you to bring that up.
entertaining.
Nobody
No, no, I
asked
did.
you
I
to
asked
bring
him.
that up.
I
Why
asked
you
him.
bring keep my manager's mouth out your mouth?
I will
Out.
come over
keep
there,
my
Gary.
manager's mouth out your mouth.
I
Stop
will
licking
come
my
over
manager's
there,
mouth.
Gary. I
You
will
keep
come
putting
over
my
there,
manager's
Gary.
mouth in your mouth, and he doesn't like it. He already has a wife.
Christ.
Mm.
Got Gary over here with a mouth fetish, and Mark should go straight on YouTube and just type in English football 1980s because they'll have 22 Sean Dyches. Every club was managed by a Sean Dyche type. it'd be like Sean Dyche porn for you.
Yeah.
You love it.
Fucking
And then
love that
one door up,
guy.
Gary would be there going, I wonder how many of their mouths I can get into a mouth. Or something
I
like
actually
this.
don't even know if I love Sean Dyche as much as I just want to have a drink with him. Seriously. I want to drink with Sean Dyche.
Yeah, that would be a great time, I think. All right, guys. We missed our chance earlier because I am not the director of this show and I completely forgot about it. But it is time, before we walk away for the evening, for Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. So, Mr. Tom, go gather your notes, get yourself prepared, have your last cigarette and powder your nose, because it's time for Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
All right,
up.
Mr. Tom, what do we have?
Roll up, roll up. We're going to start off with the early kickoff with a nice appetizer. Yes, just
Let's
shy
see.
of 100. I'm going to go Havertz first. Eddie will finish it off. Nearly
What?
100. Yep.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gary,
Yes, sir.
what do we think about this?
Well, I guess Eddie's coming off the bench to seal the game late.
Yeah.
That was my thinking.
That's how I feel like that. And the 1-0 for like 80 minutes of this match is probably where we are right now, as far as this is basically the kind of roller coaster ride that we go on with Arsenal. And they're going to hit the post, they're going to hit the crossbar, they're going to have a goal called back, all that drama, and that will make everybody's day in football land. And then Eddie comes on and finishes it off. And then we're laughing because, but I could see that happening, but I can also see craziness happening because that's kind of how this season has gone. So I'll go. I like what you're thinking about there, Mr. Tom.
Okay, Tom, I like this. Is there an adjustment we could make to correct the Havertz goal? Could we say it's a bumbling goal? Would that give us better odds?
Well, my
Like
thinking
he
is
just
this
kind of
match-
fucking barrels in and it goes in somehow, but he didn't really mean it.
Well, the perception of Eddie is that he's a bit of a flat track bully and he only scores against like the bottom half teams. So
Yeah.
I've gone with that. And obviously Havertz, because whenever people start getting on his back, he makes something happen. And I perceive this will be something happening.
Yeah.
Both of them
This
getting people off.
Tom, you're gonna lose me so much money because this one feels so good. Like I want to put a $5 on it.
Oh, don't put $5 on it. That's silly. If anything, put 50 cents on it, just in case.
No, because it's weird enough to happen where like I think Saka will hit the post, Odegaard hit the post, Martinelli hit the post, and then Kai Havertz will be running backwards and somehow the ball goes off of his head and it goes in. And he's like, wait, he doesn't even know that he's scored.
No, you know what? He will trip over the ball. Somebody will hit it. It'll go off the post, come back. He's laid out on the ground. He heads it in.
Yep.
I'll tell you exactly what will happen.
They're like, oh, he meant to do that. He meant to do that.
I'm not going to dig out Arsenal fans, but I'm going to tell you exactly what happened when this happens. Is that I will be happier about... This is the first part, the Havertz goal. I will be happier that Havertz has scored than half of the Arsenal fan base.
Not okay, maybe not hot. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm
Tom.
being generous when I say half.
You are. Moving on.
Basically, Ivan Toney's already told me that this is going to be 2-2 and he's going to score 2 of the goals. So we're just really gambling on whether Chris Wood is going to score one of Forest's 2 goals. So.
Oh, I think Wood scores. He's on a tear. He scored like 4 of the last 6, hasn't he?
Yeah,
but 3 in one
3
game.
of them are in one game. Jinx.
You pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. All right, I think Ivan Tony blanks. Oh, Jesus, I've got the touch sensitivity on here. I think Tony blanks. Just
They will
personal
be getting
opinion.
him the ball as much as possible.
Because they have nobody else. They
Exactly.
have nobody else. It's not like Tony's gonna save their fucking season right now. Like,
Their results show it as well. They've like won 1 in 8 or
You know
something like
what?
that.
because
mean,
they've been without Mbomo. Now they're with. They've been without so many key
So-
players.
Can I ask? I mean, Ivan Tony is going to play in this match.
Yes. I'm
Is he
pretty
going to
sure.
start?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Will
of
he
that as well.
start?
They are
It's
not
been
in a
around
position
forever.
where
You know
they
what?
can afford to
You know
fuck
what?
around, are they?
I would put money on Tony scoring 2 if he starts. I don't think Forrest scores 2 because I think they've got that point deduction in their head.
Yeah, because that went really badly for Everton, didn't
boost
it?
that Brentford will get from Tony coming back, given the fact that Mbuemo is hurt. Yeah, man, they're gonna crush them. I
Our
don't
teams love
know.
artificial.
I don't see it as Desmond. I like Tony scoring 2 goals. I like that. Chris Ward to score. I think Tony scoring 2 will be the sacrifice of Chris Wood scoring. I don't think that Forrest scores at all. No. I think they're in the juice. I think they're in the juicer right now, and they're just kind of like freaking out because they're gonna lose 10 points or something like that. I'm not really sure.
I mean, hopefully, yeah.
but I don't like this one at all. Sorry, Tom. At all.
I lost my Mr. title then, didn't I? It's unfortunate. So maybe I can get it back with this one. Yeah, I'm going for an upset because I don't recall Liverpool doing well at Bournemouth. Now, someone might turn around and go, "Oh, last year they won 4-0 or something like that." Like, fine, but generally, I've got vivid impressions of Liverpool going to Bournemouth at 12 in the afternoon at the lunchtime game, and Liverpool not enjoying it at all. But they may have even had a like. Yeah, but you didn't beat them 9-0 at Bournemouth, unless you did. It was Anfield, weren't it? I don't know. But my point is, that Bournemouth team are doing a lot better than the Scott Parker Bournemouth team. But to be fair, Scott Parker couldn't get a tune out of a bunch of 9-year-old girls, I suspect. So,
I might make a little bit of adjustment here. Just a little bit.
It is the 4:30 kickoff, by the way, on Sunday.
That's important.
Yeah, that is. All right, never mind.
Theory. Oh, did that change things, Mark?
Oh, it definitely changed things. Definitely changed things. I struggle with Nunez to score. I might replace that with Jota.
That's a good shout. But I figure they will start with Nunez. Hence,
They definitely will.
Yeah, that's why I figured it'd be him. But also, like with the 9-0, I think they will go for it more because of that result from last year in the back of their mind. Because many of those players probably played in that, or some of them did.
Yeah.
Who else is going to score for Bournemouth, Colonel?
Well, I mean, Solanke would be the one to Solanke or
Patrick Kluivert's son.
what's the other guy? I forget. Anyway,
I want Solanke for Arsenal if they're going to sign a striker.
no, he's another Eddie Nketiah. Solanke is Nketiah on
he
Bournemouth.
He moves so much better.
Okay.
And
but it's not
Nketiah
what
just
we
sits there and he waits for the ball. Solanke moves to get the ball. He's like, hey, give you an opportunity here. I don't know. I think Solanke for Arsenal would be amazing. And it would cost you absolutely fucking nothing.
No way.
Cost you like-
Bournemouth aren't
Oh,
going
it
to get
would
rid of.
not
20 million.
cost you
It would
nothing.
cost
It
you
would-
20 million.
No
You're
way.
out of your mind.
No way.
60 to 80.
No.
Yeah.
No,
my
because
friend.
at that point, you're buying Isak. You're buying.
No,
You know.
you're not buying Isak for 60 or 80 because they're not selling it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's the thing is
But I'm-
Bournemouth. Who else do they have? If they sell Solanke,
I'll let
they're
you know
fucking
this.
they're relegated.
Bournemouth paid 19 million to Liverpool for Solanke.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if, given
If
his
we sold him
recent
for
form
20.
for them, that they would sell him for 20. That would be very surprising.
That's not what I'm
not
saying.
they'll
you,
get 60.
You buy him for like 35, 40, which is way better than like, what Isak would be costing, what Ivan Toney would be costing.
It's just
and
crazy,
that's like
but
half as
in
much.
in all honesty, Mark, Tony Solanke, who was the other one you mentioned? All those players. The thing is, they can all become 100 fucking million at this point if your club doesn't want to sell them.
Right.
So
Well,
we're all fucking
notorious of buying players for 100 million. Yeah.
once, Mark, once in our history. What do you mean we're notorious? Once ever in our history.
Oh, I guess. Okay, fair enough. I mean, Jesus was what, 70, 60?
No. I don't know. I don't remember what he was, but much less than that. Anyway, well, folks, it's been a grand old time hanging out with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. So we are heading out for the evening. Good night. I hope you guys have all enjoyed happy hour. Mark, Gary, who is asleep, and Tom, thank you guys for joining us and having fun with us
Hang on,
tonight.
excuse me. I didn't go to Mister's college. I didn't go to Mr. College for 7 years. Dan David, just Tom. What's going on?
Mr. Tom, I'm sorry, Mr.
Thank you.
Tom.
Forgive
No,
me.
I'll be on Mr. Arsenal podcast most likely because it's an early morning match. But then we will have our show later on with Mr.
What's our show
Tom.
called, Gary?
It's called The Road Trip People. So join us,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Tom,
I
and
was asking
myself.
'cause I
And
forgot
I
it.
don't know who else is going to join us, but it's always somebody different. So sometimes it's Sam,
what
and
time
sometimes
is it
it's
at
not.
tomorrow?
10 a.m. folks. 10 a.m. on
After the
the
match.
So yeah, 3 p.m. for you guys in the UK. So yeah.
I had to mute Mark. He keeps fucking Jesus.
It's like
what is
dying on us over
happening
here,
there?
man.
He's in the Wild West. He's using a fucking handkerchief like
Bless
he's
him. Bless him. What a guy.
going. I'm gonna unmute you now, Mark. All right, there we go.
Sorry.
Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. We've had a great time with you guys. I hope you all have had a great time as well. that's it. Where do I push the button? All right. Thank you guys. We'll see y'all later.